So Spirit's really speaking to being the observer of your thoughts, not realizing that you're not your thoughts all the way. So in our mind, if we close our eyes and we get still, we get grounded, you may begin to notice that your thoughts are just going. Different thoughts are coming in, thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow or what you have to do on your to-do list. Or if you're just observing, you might be thinking about someone else. A lot of us have a lot of almost like a psychic trap or a loop that we're stuck in within our mind. We can't let something go. We're fixated on something. We're obsessed with something. We're connected with other people, and those relationships aren't working out, and so we're fixated on it. We can't let it go. You have to understand that all is mind. Mentalism, the law of mentalism, will help you on your journey with manifestation, with clearing yourself, with healing yourself, and with clarity and connection with your spirit, with your authentic voice of truth, your intuitive voice, your spirit guides, your loved ones on the other side. You must understand that you are not your thoughts. I want you to think of your brain like an old school TV set, Hong box TVs. I love that symbol of the shape of that old school television. Think of that as your mind, like a big old square, chunky TV set television. That's your mind, and the visions are coming in. The electricity's coming in and out, and it's producing an image. And you're observing and you're watching. You're watching that screen. We've talked about often setting the stage. Some of us actually go to a movie theater and watch our mind show us movies, show us scenes, show us the messages we need to see. We, your true voice, is the observer. That's you. That's your intuitive spirit speaking. So you are both light and dark, like an infinity symbol of energy vibrating. This produces thoughts. The oneness still observes that. Okay? We can have in our television set energy coming in from the atmosphere. We go into a grocery market and start to be filled with almost like an anxious thought, paranoia. We could start to feel sometimes some of us will feel pain or illness or nauseated, very queasy. We can receive thoughts into our television from the objects around us. Okay, so we have a dog leash by us of a deceased pet, and every time we walk by it, we get filled with a memory of that pet because we're psychically tuned into that object. Our thoughts also come from guides, from angels. Our thoughts come from the deceased that come to visit us. Our thoughts can be from spirits, from entities. And often our thoughts can also come from other people's projections and who we're courted to, who we're connected to, who we have an emotional bond to every day. Think that we're too connected to people in today's world with all of these open channels to everybody we're texting, and we're seeing how everybody's day is, and we're all up in everybody's Kool-Aid, and that's too much. If you have anxiety, be mindful of your TV, what thoughts are coming in, and key, where are they coming from? Okay? So when you get into different meditations that quiet your mind, that help you to be the observer and then consciously release the thought forms, the patterns that are just running on repeat within your mind, you begin to tap into your creator energy. You begin to tap into the goddess or the god within you. And then you can tap into the law of mentalism and create from this state. So a lot of times we're just creating our realities based off of all this mumbo jumbo in our TVs. So when you're able to do certain meditations for so long and you have a sense of clarity within your mind, you have a sense of discernment that this isn't yours and you're no longer going to allow it in your TV to go ahead and produce a vision for you, a reality for you, you switch from being more animalistic, your lower self, to you start getting to be from a land animal to an animal with wings, like a bird. So we go from the goat to the hawk. Okay, we fly. And you no longer are acting off of instinct. You're acting now from a place of intuition. You're producing your reality from a place of intuition. You're more in control of your mind. You're more in control of your thought. So then your manifestations are more pure and they're more aligned with your desires versus all of this animalistic, instinctual thoughts that aren't even your own that are running, and they tire you, make you exhausted. I'm tired of thinking by the end of the day. Anyone ever get like that? So when you're no longer animalistic, you're not just acting off of the instinct, oh, I'm hungry, I gotta eat, I gotta consume. Oh, I'm horny, I gotta get laid. Who's gonna me? You're not consuming, you're not just acting off the lust, you're not just acting off of the need to eat, you're not just acting off, I gotta go spend money and consume and more and more and more and more and more. Feed me, feed me, feed me. With this dualistic mind, you have a consciousness that's above an animal. An animal's trapped in that lower state of, I just need to act off of instinct so I can survive. So we as the conscious beings begin to really succeed in our manifestations, in our spirituality, when we realize that we're the observer and that we have more control of our television box than what we usually allow to happen throughout our day, which is a lot of the times out of control. So the more in control of your mind, the more you manifest from a pure state, the more you're in control. And all of a sudden you realize that the thought that was within you telling you just to eat is a lower part of yourself, is a fragmented part of yourself, is your ego. It could be any part of you. It could be who you're attached to that has this eating addiction that's influencing your mind. So once you have awareness of it, then you get more in control of that habit that's running you on repeat, that's keeping you in the loop of the lower density. So remember your consciousness in all things. So a lot of times also I see that we get very frustrated holding thoughts that are not ours and anchoring us in that thought. This produces blocks and stagnancy. So let's reference again the basement versus the attic form of consciousness and thinking. When you're in the basement form of consciousness, you will always need someone else's consciousness to tell you what to do or how to think because you don't have clarity. You're confused. You're not sure of how things really work in this universe. And it's different from still being this unknown universe. We don't have all of the answers in the cosmos, right? But when we have an attic level of consciousness, we feel a sense of peace with what we know. We are confident enough to go on the path of discovery and discernment of what we need to find out in order to have a sense of peace and clarity. So again, let me repeat that. When we're in the basement, you'll say, the expression of herd mentality. The same flocks stick together. So when we're in the basement, we need someone else. Tell me what to do. Tell me how to think. What is the right way? How should I behave? What should I do? Where should I go? That's basement. So the key is to understand your attachments to others' consciousness and how it's anchoring you in a belief system, in a pattern of thinking and release. You have to learn to let go. We have to learn to process things. Who's dealing with anger? Who's dealing with rage lately? Astrologically, it's putting this pressure on us. So I would assume probably a few of us, drop a comment. I have been in situations that have very much so angered me lately. And how do we process anger? You have to process it. You can't suppress anger because if you do suppress it, you'll have built up rage over years and you'll explode like a volcano. So anger, we process it by living through it. You begin to, let's say if it's not just anger you're dealing with or frustration or anything that you're dealing with that's more of a lower vibration, you have to sit, close your eyes and feel in your body where you feel anger. Where do I feel anger? Well, I feel anger in my mind. That's the air in me and the water in me. Okay? And then there's a fire too. So the fire and the air in me, I don't really have too much earth placement in my chart. I use my intellect, and I say mean words. when I get angry and I'm out of control and it's just going. It's not a physical reaction for me, so anger affects my mind. It feels very heavy and dense. I feel it around my eyes. Where do you feel anger? Where do you feel it in your body? We may feel it in our muscles. You may feel it in your pelvis area. You may tend to clench yourself when you're angry. So that's how you process it. You have awareness of where you're holding the anger and you can feel into the moment. You're not repressing. I'm angry today. We are so programmed that anger is bad. You're a bad person for being angry. That's not true. That's not true. Anger is going to happen. Anger can really be it's a suppressing, so I hate to say motivating, but people do take anger and build so much more from it. They do get motivated or inspired from it. It's an energy source. It does need to be channeled. So, whatever it is we're stuck on lately, whatever it is that's going on mentally, whether it's a thought form or an emotion that we're attached to, observe it, how it's affecting your body, and process it. Sit with it. Allow yourself to feel into it and get to the root of why you feel the anger. Usually, if we're angry, there's someone triggering us in a sense of being threatened, we feel threatened, or we feel a boundary has been crossed. Okay, so I talk a lot about my archetypal energy of a bear. Mama Grizzly Bear comes out. When I feel an intimate connection with someone that crosses a boundary or threatens me, Mama Bear comes out. And what I've had to learn to do is to realize that the eye for an eye in me is coming from me being, involved with Christianity as a child. That's where that comes from. And I don't truly, my higher self, my addict consciousness doesn't align with that. My addict self says, this person hurt me, crossed a boundary. I know better. It's predictable. I should have let go. And although this person's crossing a boundary, I'm really, truly not threatened. It's an illusion of a threat. And I'm going to choose no eye for an eye, and I'm going to let this person go without ripping them a new ass, without telling them to go F off or leave me alone. I don't want to say mean things, even if it's true. That's my truth. But the lower me is eye for an eye. Protect yourself. This person crossed a boundary. Revenge. They hurt me, I hurt them. To me, that's lower. That's my lower me. So you have to recognize what's guiding your thoughts emotionally, thought form wise, your connections, and how are you responding to your thoughts? What is your reality like right now based off of what you've been thinking? Okay, so think yourself well. Think yourself well if you're in a situation of feeling sickness. Think yourself happy if you're in a situation of being angry. Process it and get to the higher space. I'll leave off by saying about the importance of sacred isolation. A lot of us are on this awakening journey where we may find that we're in a state of what I call sacred isolation. Um, Understand alone time is good, whether this is a period of singleness, whether this is a period of being separate from friends and family. This separation, this space allows you to grow as an individual. So protect this sacred space, clear it, keep it clear, ground it, and create from it. Okay, so remember, all is mind, and it's your mind creating your reality. Hope you guys have a great week.